Ma c'è il pre-live?
Bravo Edo.
No, non c'è il pre-live, sti cazzi. Siamo già live adesso, ci stanno sentendo parlare in italiano. Hello,
Non
hello,
c'è, vabbè, ho
hello.
capito, nei primi 30 secondi non c'è nessuno.
No, we're gonna start like in a few seconds. Nobody's here. If you're listening
Ah,
to the
ok.
VOD, hi. We're gonna start in a few minutes. Let's just
Hi Gio.
Hi
waiting for
Giovanni.
people to join.
Sorry I'm
So,
late.
oh wait, who's it? Oh, Joe, hi.
Hello.
RIP the all Italian streaming.
Yeah.
Isn't this like the 6th episode?
No, it's 5.
No, you did one
I skipped
after
last
the
week.
draft.
I skipped last
So-
week.
Okay.
I skipped last week.
Okay.
Okay, as usual, I'm gonna have like the spreadsheet. Oh wait, actually, everybody's seeing my Twitter. That's not really good. Whatever.
Oops.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't think I put anything weird. I'm gonna have the spreadsheet on stream. I'm just gonna show what we're talking about, but it's not gonna be like too impactful. Like you don't need to. Like, if you wanna have the stream on, so you see what I'm showing, but it's not important. I'm not gonna screen share. We don't need to. Content and stream. NPA Talk number 5. Come watch, or what do I say?
Play Minecraft.
Or a creeper will explode in your Minecraft house.
We'll also be commentating the UCL knockout games today.
Yeah.
The creeper is going to blow up IRL, I think.
No, IRL.
No?
IRL.
Okay, no.
Only in game. Only in game. Only in
My bad.
game. Oh, we have Bat. Hi, Bat.
Yo.
That's only message in chat I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
Okay. We're still gonna wait like a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna join. But yeah, like, we're gonna talk about week 5, and we also have a big announcement. Yeah, I should probably write that down.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna mention the format for the next week. It's also gonna be like on the Discord server later, so it's not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let me grab my phone. 1 sec. Where is it? It's in the other room. 1 sec.
Next week you're going to play Paldea Prologue.
Hello. I'm still gonna keep saying dumb stuff. Waiting. Okay, actually, like how long has it been? 2 minutes? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, 3 minutes. Never mind. We can start.
Okay.
We can start. So, hello. Who do we have here? Today we have an all Italian cast because we have Ceree.
Hi.
Polpolpo.
Yo.
And PqlarBear, which is not Italian, but his name is Giovanni, so like.
Can confirm I'm not Italian. Yes,
he counts as Italian for today at least.
Okay.
Because Giovanni is an Italian name, so
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, if it was just on paper, I could kind of fit in.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna have to pretend to be Italian for today.
There is one American among us.
That's fine.
All right, so we just had week 5, and it was a weird week because what happened? We had 4 out of 5 ties.
Yeah.
Symbionts and United tied, Stars and Puppies tied, Samurais and Blizzards tied, and Cruisers and Monarchs tied. Only team who managed to get a win was Detectives, 5-3 against Crown, with a photo finish win, like last second win of Joe against Sapphire. So that was
Yeah, I'm
it.
very sad we didn't get a tie.
Yeah, I was rooting for Sapphire that match, not for anything special, but just for the 5 ties
Yeah.
that Joe ended up winning. So that's actually really huge for Detectives. Because since everyone tied, everyone got 2 points outside of Detective, which got 5. So basically, Detective just got
And Crown.
plus. Yeah, Crown got 0. So what happens to the standing is right now, compared to last week, Detectives got +3 over everybody, while Crown got -2 over everybody. So that's like a huge leap forward for Detectives. Now you see, they're in 6th place, which is still like 1 win away from playoff, and by 1 win I mean 5 points. But still,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
definitely better than last week when they were 7 points. Sorry, 6, 8. It was 8.
Yeah, quite sure it was 8, yeah.
So, was like, what match did you not expect to be a tie in out of these 5? Sorry, 4. The 4 that tied.
Well, I can tell you I expected Blizzards against Samurais to be a tie since they were the top contenders for the first place, I think.
Yeah, they were both first place.
Yeah, so yeah, that is one I expected to be a tie. While Cruisers against Monarchs, I mean, you had the top 3 team Cruisers against the last place Monarchs. And yeah, that's surprising in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that on paper, I mean, I think on paper Monarch's roster is really strong, even though they're clearly not performing well. So, like, on paper, I'm not surprised to say it as a tie, but considering how the past weeks went, then yeah, it's a bit more like surprising. Because definitely Cruises had a lot of momentum, and they probably were expecting to pick up a win, which was gonna be so big for them for the playoff race. And now they got a tie, which didn't hurt them too much because everybody else also tied. So they're still in the same spot as they were, but they kind of lost the opportunity to, you know, get some points over everybody else. So that's probably more big for them. Well, like what they missed is very big for them compared to like what it could have been.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I was also surprised seeing the Symbionts as well tying to a struggling United side. Like United were tied for last place with the Monarchs as well, and they still managed to draw with the Symbionts. Also, like you can notice that all the Italians from the Symbionts won. Aside, in the side from Ciciotta, they all won 2-0.
Yeah,
Nationalism.
They were all Italy against USA. No,
no,
I'm dumb. The
no.
Shaman is not
Shaman is
American.
not USA.
No. Okay, forget about it.
Also, Carmine on the other side also won. So
Oh yeah, so Siemens versus United, half of the games were won by Italians, and also it's kind of crazy that no Italian faced each other.
yeah. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about it, Carmine is actually doing really well on the United side. Like, it was like a 3K pick, I think.
Yeah, probably something like that.
I didn't think he went for too much. Yeah, he was a 3K pick. Now he's like he's 2-0. Like, he's doing well. Definitely like what you want from a 2K pick. Sorry, 3K pick. Like, he played 2 matches and won both of them. And they were both important for United to get a draw. So now he's actually like first seed for second seed for United.
Yeah,
No,
because
it's first seed. Yeah.
no, sorry.
So
Yeah, I'm quite sure it's first seed.
Yeah,
it's first
because
seed.
especially for a team doing not so good as United, having just a player who can win just even 2 games out of 5 because he played only 2 is so important because he can really make the difference between actually losing another week or scraping out a tie.
Yeah.
And yeah. Also, if I remember correctly, Carmina was played for United all 3 seasons, if I remember correctly, and he always did kind of good, if I remember
I
correctly.
unfortunately don't know, so like I'm gonna have to trust you.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
idea either.
he did. That's fun. That's good. Like it's good to see like these players that get attached to a team. They know like um yeah, okay, so Bas confirmed that he played 3 seasons for United.
Okay,
It's
okay,
nice
nice.
to see like these kind of players that start in a team. Maybe they're not very well known, start in a team, do well, and then they keep getting picked up by the team and keep doing well. You know,
Uh,
it's nice. It's like even if they're not retained, they're still part of the team. They still like the team, the atmosphere. So that's great. Good luck to him next
yeah.
week, where he'll be playing against Polar Bear. Hi, Polar Bear.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I also played free season for the White Forest Hams, which were actually all the season was the Hams playing in the NPA, and so like the third season was the last for the Hams, so I'll be aware if I was Carmina because maybe United won't be here the following year.
I think they're safe from relegation, so unless they decide to like just drop the team for whatever reason, they'll still be here next year.
Okay. And while we're there, I'll take opportunity by the fact that you said we noticed there's gonna be Giovanni here against Carmine. This is because yeah, Polar Bear is first in battle score in the Celestic Stars, but also is
In the
the
entire
first
league, I think.
right now. Is the first in the whole NPA because he has actually managed to surpass Snow.
Yeah, so first of
I
all,
which
big round
yeah
of applause because
yeah
5-0
because
season. I don't know if you can hear me applauding, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
yeah
Hits
because
5-0.
yeah, have you actually seen Snow drop down from the first position at all? Like
Um, I mean, yeah, he lost to Hupo Metapod, which is the only other 5-0.
Yeah, and I think you could tell me maybe you already faced Zhejiang's team, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. We played
Wait.
Monarchs week 1.
Oh,
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, we could see 2x0 at the end of the Swiss
yeah, we
or
could
the group
see
stage,
two
whatever.
2-0s. No, it's like somewhat not funny, but curious how both teams are doing not too great. Like Stars and Monarchs are bottom 4, but they have like two 5-0 players. So we wish the best of luck to both you and Jay to get the undefeated season, and also the teams to bounce back. Because that would be nice to see like a more competitive playoff race. And just
Yeah.
like close out on the week recap, Stars versus United was a tie as well. Giovanni, was there like anything like is there anything you wanna say? Was there anything surprising? Were you particularly happy about one win that your team got, or sad about one loss that you got?
Oh, okay. So I would say that the notable wins that we had would be the one that Macedon had mainly, and then mine because mine was lucky,
Okay.
and then Kahaku technically as well because he was the one that had to bring us to a tie. Like even though it was put on stream, and like usually sometimes the stream match is like one that was played in the middle of the week. This one was actually the one that was last played, like scheduled last, and Kahaku didn't really have the option of like getting a team in game, so he was just like, "I'm gonna have to pick from a rental," and I was like, "Okay, we're rolling with this." and I'm like, I believe in you, and he got it done.
Yeah, like funnily enough, we saw on stream that Mars had Gahaku's rental on his console.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I watched it back. I was like, yeah, I
yeah,
see.
he had the rental. But hey, Gahaku played.
Because the first
he-
time I watched it from Gahaku's perspective.
Oh yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
he won, so congrats to Gahaku. He's also doing like he's doing well this season. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's X1, I think.
I think I'm not
He
sure.
is? I thought it was 3-0. I don't know.
No, it's
Oh, it was
3-0.
3-0. Oh, okay.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 3-0. Yeah,
Yeah,
So I
well,
have to correct myself. We could see many X0s at the end of the Swiss.
Yeah, but only like 2 9-0s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of players who have yet to play a single week. So like technically all of those could also go X0. Even if
Also,
Yeah, you're right.
I noticed that the Blizzards actually have 2 4-0s, and both of them like were picked for 14.3k total in the draft. So like this is excellent business by the Blizzards.
Changfu and Lily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm especially
Liakos,
surprised
I think.
by Lily's performance.
Oh, really? It's 4-0. Okay.
4-0. Really putting in the work for a 6k player, like
Yeah,
because
If we watch at Lily's wins, they are against My Stars, J Modri, Teishu, and Blue. They are not bad
yeah,
players. It's not like
yeah, because
they face like the worst. No, they actually face good players.
yeah, because if the Rero is so high, they're bound to face good players. So like this first year is really impressive to me because going being picked up for so cheap and having this big of a performance right now is incredible, especially because right now the Blizzards are second and they actually uh, were we're winning against the samurais. The samurais had to tie up in the end, and if they won their last game, they'd be first.
Yeah, they were one game away from first place. That's true.
Yeah,
But they're having a great season. Like
yeah, because sorry, because like you see the roster, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a good team because like the players you see, like none of them you'd say aren't good, but also maybe you felt like there was this a lack of a top player, like someone who you could rely on to win every week, and instead they got you in without actually being noticed because they racked up the 4-0 players in Chenfu Lili.
yeah,
And this is really impressive. Also, like Liakos is 4-1.
yeah. Jakos is also having a really good season. Although he went for like way more, he's still like doing well. So yeah, Blazers overall are doing well. It's probably they're also doing a lot of work behind the scenes. It's not just um, the games themselves. It's also like the testing, the scouting, everything, I assume. And it's paying off. So now they're in
Oh,
second place.
oh, okay. So apparently Lily was 12k
Yeah,
and
both Lily and
so was
Chengfu went for
Frankfurt.
12.
Okay,
Went
so
for
I made
12.
I made a mistake. But my point stands still. They weren't really paid much.
Yeah, it's
And
like 4-0 so far for a 12k is still a really good price.
yeah, because this still means that whatever happens, they can go negative in the regular season.
Yeah, true. So this week we've seen a bunch. Well, we've seen Lilycall win a regional, right? And we've also
Yeah.
seen a bunch of Lilycall showing up here and there.
Wasn't it a nightmare? It happened for real?
Yeah, Lilycall
Okay.
actually won a regional. And funnily enough, Sempra went from losing his NPA set with Lilycall, not losing confidence in the team, bringing it to the regional and winning the regional with also a really good score. I think he went like XN2 overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
very
like
impressive performance.
15-2 or something? He had like a really good run. So congrats to Sempra.
Congrats.
But we also seen like Nails and Mixino running the same teams, And yeah, Lilycall is like, it's not just Lilycall, but Torkoal overall is becoming like way more present in the format, both on Trick Room teams and also on so-called Sun teams, which this is like the first generation in which Sun teams are not fire spam or fire plus chlorophyll spam. We have like
Yeah, it's cool.
a bunch of different Pokemon that exploit the sun and that want the sun in different ways. We have like the paradox. We're seeing like this team here, that the team that David Kutesh brought to Bokum with Torqual, Great Task, Fluttermane, and Roaring Moon. Those three Pokemon do not have fire. Well, actually, yeah, the Salamence is Terra Fire with Terra Blast, but they
Yeah.
don't really need Sun for the fire move. They need Sun for their ability. So this is like another take on Sun, which I actually really like, instead of being, oh, let me just click the fire move or click Sleep Powder with the Chlorophyll move.
Yeah, it's a great Sun meta, in my opinion. Like, as long as we do not see Lilycall, it's interesting to see how Sun develops around the paradox, and how Torkoal becomes the support and not the main damage dealer with Eruption. And particularly the Kutesh team with Clear Amulet and Terrafire, Roaring Moon, I think is really strong and should be explored some more to maybe being brought to his best of the potential.
Yeah. Are we expecting many Lilycalls next week? Sorry,
I
this
hope
week,
not.
week 6.
I hope not. And
I would
also
not be
we have a
surprised.
regional.
Sorry, Joe, what did you say? Sorry.
Yeah.
I said I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I agree. I've spoken with Nails a bit, which is, as far as I know, the original like creator of the team, and he
Mhm.
said this team is stupidly strong. At the regional, I played bad and I still got top 4 because the team just carried me. And Sempra played well his regional and won it. So according to Nails, the team is incredibly strong. We're gonna see how many people will decide to like pick it up and try it for next week. Because does it actually play itself as Nail says? We'll see. But
I
yeah,
mean, if the creator,
I also wouldn't be surprised to see it a lot.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and I just hope we would not see many of those. But yeah, if the creator of the team himself says that the team just plays itself and he got carried by it, I think we might see many of those, even in Utrecht. Maybe some European players will try to play Lilycall themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. And also a combination that we've seen a lot, which I think Cheddar wants to talk about, is Glimora Dondozo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been a rise in the Glimmer and Dondozo team as of lately, especially since we've seen Santino get into first place in Battle Spot with it. And also, like, we can see that Aura Rayquaza, Sentino, and Calvonix all brought the same 6 months, and all won a 2-0, which is impressive to me because the team is super cool, especially how you play it with Muscle and Glimora. You aim to side feint yourself just to set up the spikes, and then have Dondozo in the back to clean up. This is very interesting as a combo to me, and like I'm glad I'm glad it's getting the success as of lately, especially because we saw also like Glimmer Dondozo getting top 8 in Vancouver last week. So it's been definitely on the rise. We could see like there are also some other Dondozo Glimora's team here and there. Like there was a mirror, which went the one that went on stream, Melukanga's Chenfu.
It wasn't a perfect mirror, but they had like 4 out of 6 in Pokemon
Yeah,
in common, and they had Glimora Dondozo.
yeah, and like also this very interesting team by Chichota, who who, aside from the Dondozo and Glimora, had the Iron Valiant, he won against Reality.
Iron Valiant is like, I think it's unexplored, but I also think it's for a good reason. It's
Unexplored for a good reason. Yeah.
yeah, like it's probably like people just played it a bit at the beginning of the format and then said, "Oh, this Pokemon is bad. Let's just move on." So maybe there's like it has like its place in a couple teams, in a couple of composition, maybe, but I don't know how much is it worth like investing time into it to finding out the good like where
Okay.
the comp in which is it's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chichot actually played it as support offensive mon because it had taunt, I think. I'm quite sure I watched the set and it had taunt, and it's a pretty unique combination of offensive moves. If you think about his special attack, like there is no other Pokemon with that special attack and coverage, and yeah, I mean it's unique in its performance. So if you specifically need that kind of slot, you have it.
Yeah, but like say all you want, it still has been brought once and won, so it's sporting off a 100% win rate.
Yeah.
You know,
Still worse, still worse than Gallade, because Gallade has been brought 2 times and still won both games.
okay,
So technically, it's still a better version.
yeah. Uh, 1-0 is the same score as Cryogonal, Luminion, Breloom, Bramblegast, Kilowattrel, Dragapult, and Rotom Heat. So there's
And
a
both the
bunch of
targets.
Pokemon which won the only
I'm going to
game.
make a team with these 6 you just mentioned.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, you mentioned way more than 6. Okay, okay, have
so
to choose.
yeah, it's funny because both Gallade and Gardevoir has been brought twice as much as Iron Valiant.
Yeah, but Gardevoir has less win rate than Iron Valiant.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're talking about usage stats,
Also, like, I want to point out how both Espadra and Sandy Shocks were brought only twice, which means that I expect
They were together, yeah.
them to be brought together. They have been brought only twice and together, and they lost, so I'm kind of happy about it.
yeah, the
Let's
Saxa
go.
brought it. The Saxa had a wild team, by the way. It was Dondozo Tatsugiri, Espatra, Sandy Shocks, Indeedee, and Marouche. Like, good luck guessing what I'm gonna lead with that. He lost though, so didn't work out. But
Yeah, Justice won.
it's for sure wild. I'm actually surprised not to have seen like Espatra, Sandy Shocks more, because it's like it's an offensive combination which could probably work better in a single best of 3 than in a tournament. So
Yeah, probably.
I was expecting to see it more than like just 2 times in the whole NPA.
Yeah, you expect it to be maybe a brainless combination where you lead those and you go gravity, hypnosis, and things like that. But people seem to prefer the Alex Soto's team if you want to go for an option that is completely brainless. Or it's not that brainless actually, but yeah.
It has the
They
same
prefer the
potential.
yeah, exactly, and they prefer the most efficient and strong one probably.
Makes sense, yeah. Our Trick Room is doing well.
Can we take a look at the top like 10 usage maybe?
Okay, yeah. I mean, as usual, Flutterman is at the top, Iron Bundle is at the top, Great Tusk is at the top. Then, you know, we have Goldango, Bouncehole, Dragonite, Amoonguss, Iron Hands, Arcanine, and King Gambit, just if you wanna know which ones.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah.
Wait a second.
Also, like right now, we could actually make a very strong team with the top 6 usage.
Yeah, for sure the top 6 are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that someone actually brought those 6.
No, like I'm actually sure. I'm sure there's been a team with those 6.
Yeah, it probably has.
Oh
Like,
my-
Isn't
those are
it?
just.
Isn't it like Battle Room's team at
No,
OCIC?
it had King Gambit.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's also Axiors without the Axiors did not have the bundle, right?
Yeah, I think the bundle
no,
is the
Axios
only
did not
spot.
have.
Well, Axiors does
Fluttermane,
originally
I
count
think.
Living Houses, which had Volcarona in
Yeah,
that slot,
but still, like,
and is still running it and making it work. So props. But ever since I heard that Emilio told Z or something, or like laughed at the fact that Z was recommending Volcarona for like a
Mhm.
Knoxville team. I was like, well, maybe I should steer clear of it. I don't know how I feel about it now because I was a huge Volk fan, and then when I heard Emilio laughed at it, I'm like, okay, well, that makes me sad.
No. Um,
I mean,
we're
I
also
think the reason why
sorry.
we're seeing those Pokemon so much is that they're really splashable. Like they can Fluttermane bundle are just good, fast offensive mon. Goldengo is super strong and can go either faster or slower. Mileshold is redirection, a lot of support. Great Tusk and Dragonite are offensive. They are they can fit on a variety of teams. That's why we're seeing them so much.
Yeah, but as we mentioned, the top six, aside of Iron Bundle, represents a team, maybe paired with some other Pokemon. But yeah, they represent one of the strongest core in the entire format, and the core is made of 5 Pokemon, so that helps.
No surprise, they're all
Yeah.
Um,
so present in the format.
Also, like we're seeing the trend I noticed a couple of weeks ago. The trend where Mousehold is the most used redirector, but has a far lower win rate than Among Us. Like we actually saw Mousehold going even higher in the usage, and I think even lower in the win percentage.
Yeah,
Whereas Among Us stayed pretty much the same.
yeah. I mean, also Mungus is going a bit lower in win rate, but because in the first weeks it was like super high the win rate. It's still like around 60%, which is incredibly high. Like over what is it like 100 games, 60% is really high. It's nothing to laugh at.
Yeah, because it's the best Pokemon in the top 20 and the second best in the top 30. Because only Bascalibur with 67 is better in the top 30.
Yeah, but Baxcalibur, like, see, Baxcalibur another mod that I wish, not I wish, but I expect to see a bit more, especially after it won OCIC and the first regional, on respectively on Gavin and Meluka's team. But we're still not seeing it too much. It just sometimes here and there it shows up, and it wins like 2/3 of its games, so that's really good. But it doesn't have that big of a usage.
Um,
I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
can I
like
can kind of say as to why that
so
might be.
Sure.
Like when you look at the formats, there are a glaring, and I mean very notable amount of fairy weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that you put like a good stuffs together, you already have 2 or 3 fairy weak mons, and then maybe one resist. And then where does Excalibur fit in? Right? Because like, what is Excalibur doing that another dragon can't? And don't get me wrong, it definitely has some selling points, right? Which I
mhm.
myself used Excalibur in week 4, and I thought it was very good. Um, but it's more of just like an individual has to ask themselves like, what is it that I'm wanting out of the slot? What role does it need to serve? And does it do what I need it to do on this team?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Late.
because also the fact that since like it has this glaring weakness to the fairy, it means that he basically has to Terra every time he sees a fairy, and with Fluttermane with literally 60% usage, that means that 3 out of 5 games, you if you bring in Excalibur, you have to Terra, which means that maybe you have like if you don't have a Terra, maybe you if you're forced to Terra Excalibur, maybe you don't have it for like Dragonite or King Gambit or other monsters that actually need the Terra also, which is pretty much anti-synergic with Excalibur, because this means that you're forcing yourself out of other good mons just to bring Excalibur because it has to Terra whenever it faces a Fluttermane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we've
I think
seen.
with
Sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
we've
Or
seen
Great Tuck
lately.
or Goldengo, which are like in the top 4.
We've seen lately, um, a bunch of AV Terra Ground Excalibur, which
Yeah.
kind of solves the issue. Like you can leave a gleam from Fluttermane with Saltburst even if you don't Terra, but at the same time, since it's all open lists, like your opponent is gonna know that your Baxcalibur is AV, so they just Moonblast, maybe like Terra Fairy Moonblast KOs, or with Protosynthesis, Sound Boost. It also picks up the KO, so you're still forced to Terra, but at least like your opponent can't just click Gleam and expect to pick up a KO. It's still like it's not a really good answer. Like it's not completely like it doesn't change the matchup that much, but it definitely helps in against the flatter main.
Yeah, I wanted to mention as well as the Terra Ground became more popular on the Baxcalibur, probably thanks to the. I'm not sure about who the builders are. I think Rinia, Suika, and Ngahaku, or not?
No, just Rinia and Suika.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, after they built and shared the team, I think it became more popular even in other compositions. So I expect all Baxcaliburs to be Assault Vest and Terra Ground, or almost every Baxcalibur. So yeah, that problem about the fairy resistance actually remains because you're forced to Terra. And the thing Baxcalibur brings to a team is that you have a physical mon that cannot be burned and has a unique coverage, I think, which is fire, ice, and ground, ice, and dragon. Yeah. And yeah, that hits pretty much everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in how the Baxcalibur will actually fare in the coming weeks, because right now I think it's literally the best set for Baxcalibur, but it's also like I'd say it's very exploitable because like it has technically no boosting item, so maybe the Intimidate is pretty good against it, and also like the fact that it's AV, it means that after clicking its most powerful attack in Grave Rush, it's forced to Ice Shard because it does not have Protect to actually cancel out the Grave Rush and Malus effect.
Yeah.
Which is kinda exploitable to me, because it means that after Baxcalibur has used Glaive Rush, like it's forced to Ice Shard, because either it does that, or it probably just dies to everything. So yeah, I'll like to see how the meta will actually adapt it to see if the V set will actually stay as the best one.
Yeah, we'll have to see going into Series 3 actually.
Yeah. So now that you mention it, we looked a bit about how we've had like what's been run in Regulation B or Series C. Series 2, however you wanna call it.
Series 2.
Series 2, okay, whatever. Starting from week 7. Now, this is like the first time players hear it, but starting from week 7, the default will be Regulation C. And player will still be able for week 7 and week 8 to gentleman's agreement to play Regulation B if they both agree to it. But we've been polling the managers. We asked them what do they prefer, and a vast majority of managers and teams wanted to switch to Regulation C starting from week 7. So week 6 is going to be the last week where the default is Regulation B. What's going to change?
Hi, Nick.
So yeah,
Hello.
On behalf of everyone, thank you. We needed this.
Yeah, I can say that I gentlemen's to Regulation C for this week as well, and yeah, moving forward with the format because it's just good to practice the upcoming format.
Okay, this voice you're hearing is Nails. Hi, Nails.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
He's here especially like to talk about Regulation C. He wanted to talk about Regulation C a lot. Why, like, do you feel like Regulation B was that bad that you wanted to switch to Reg C, or you just want to move on? What's the main reason?
I just want to move on. Time marches on. we're not playing this format anymore. There's still a couple events, but personally, I'm not playing them, and so I have no personal interest in playing any more Series 2. It's in the past. It was a nice format. I had solid results in the format, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's fair. I mentioned it I think it's the first or second NPA talk about how we were gonna ask the player close to these weeks what they wanted to play when they wanted to switch to Regulation C, because I felt like, hey, maybe if we asked them like 2 months ago, they are not gonna change their mind, since like from then to now they might change their mind or whatever. So we wanted to ask them. I felt like this was the perfect moment to ask 1 week before sorry, 1 week and a half, pretty much before the last major event in Regulation B, and most teams wanted to switch to Regulation C. So there we go. Next week will be Regulation C or Series 3, however you wanna call it.
Series 3.
Shut up. That was not a question for you. I did not ask you that question. It was just a generic sentence.
It's Regulation 3. Come on, guys.
Okay, that's chaotic evil, but whatever.
Liga Pro.
What are we expecting from it? Like, I mean, the 4 Pokemon. I mean, we only have like 4 more Pokemon compared to Regulation B, which are the Ruins, Wochen, Tinglu, Chiyu, and what's the last one? Chien-Pao. Sorry. How big of an impact are they gonna have on the meta, on the format?
It's like about one step below adding the Tapus to VGC 17. It's not quite that big, but it's adding the best Pokemon, probably 1 to 2 more top 5 Pokemon, and then another that's like at worst probably like top 15. Tinglu's going to be the best Pokemon in the format. It just is. It's so fat, and it stat checks the entire format.
And it has Fissure.
Chien-Pao, yeah, it does have Fissure, and that is a viable set on it. It's maybe not the best way to play it, but it's going to be viable, and you're going to see it. And then Chien-Pao is probably top 5. I'd be surprised if it wasn't top 5. It just enables teams to go like full physical, and it just is like a game ender. And Chiyu is less good than Chien-Pao, just because the speed tier is pretty awkward in this format and it doesn't have coverage. But its ability is the most broken of the 4, so it's going to still be pretty viable in this format, but it'll have its best days later on. And then Woxian is going to be like solid, but not as good as the other 3.
Yeah,
but you can't sleep on it. It's still good.
I feel like Wochen is Tapu Bulu, yeah.
The rooms.
It's literally Tapu Bulu.
Yeah, Wochen is very much like Tapu Bulu in that it has a weird 4x weakness that isn't that punishable, but like it also just kind of has a mid-defensive typing with a lot of traits that if it had a better typing would just be like extremely cracked. So it's going to be, it's like balancing the strengths against the weaknesses, and it ends up in a pretty okay spot. It's not as offensively potent as Bulu, which I'm a bit sad about, but it does the defensive sets. It's like what Bulu's defensive sets were trying to do, but without all of the immediate firepower that Bulu had if he wanted to go for like Sword Stance or Bloom Doom, just taking kills. But yeah, Ocean's like pretty decent.
Yeah, we've seen like a bunch of support moves from Ruination to knockoff. I think it's like not maybe the only knockoff user or the only decent knockoff user in the format.
I faced Grafayai today.
Okay, that's not a Pokemon.
Okay.
Phil does not refute the point that Duck made.
How many people in this call can say what type Grafayai is?
It's the first normal and poison type.
Okay, who else knew it?
Me. It resists Flutter Mane, and that's like notable.
Okay.
I only looked at it last week because I was looking at Prankster Mons because I was bored.
It doesn't get
I'll admit it.
Stop looking at it.
I'll admit it. I was looking at Prankster Mons.
Yeah, no, it doesn't get screens, and so
it's not it. It's not it.
I've seen a theory on how it would be really good into Dondozo teams, because with Prankster Doodle you can copy the unaware of the Dondozo to both your Pokemon, so you're just ignoring Dondozo's stat boosts and you can play 2v1. But also at the same time you're playing with a Graph AI, which how good can it be?
Yeah, it's you hear that you're playing 2v1 and then you remember that it's a Graph AI, so you're actually playing 1v1, which still is not like that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like giving something unaware is good, but
yeah, okay. So let's just move on from Graph AI and talk about actual Pokemon.
That.
So yeah, Wuchen has Knockoff, has Pollen Puff, has Leech Seed, is also like one of the only good Leech Seed users. That's Arboliva, and that's it pretty much. And then it has like Ruination, it's a Giga Drain with
Foul
helps
play.
for the staying power. Oh, it's Foul Play. Yeah, that's also good for damage. It also, you heard it here first. Probably, actually not, probably not, but whatever. Foul Play does not get reduced by Wuchen's ability, like the damage does not get reduced.
I mean, Wuchen's Foul Play does not get nerfed.
Wuchen Foul Play, yeah, but other Pokemon's Foul Play do.
Yeah.
So you can Foul Play for full power, which is still like a good source of power. Yeah, good source of power. We've seen a bunch of defensive Pokemon run Foul Play.
Throughout history.
In VGC history, there have been multiple defensive Pokemon which just say, "Hey, I'm just gonna run Foul Play and hope that I can do damage with it." Like we've seen, especially last year, Pokemon 2, Mandibuzz,
Persian,
17, Persian as well. I don't remember like too well formats since like before 2016, so I can't really say which were the most common Foul Play user, but I'm pretty sure there were a bunch.
It's just a good attack.
Yeah, I think Scrafty learned Foul Play, but you wouldn't run it because Intimidate.
I mean, I ran Foul Play Scrafty in 2018 pre-ins, and I thought it was quite good.
Okay.
It still messes up Metagross.
Yeah, it kills Metagross.
But anyway,
Oh, okay. Didn't know. I did know it, but without Black Glasses, did it?
It did enough damage that you still ran it.
Okay.
It also like killed Drumlax on the turn of drums if Trick Room is up, or the turn after drums if Trick Room isn't up. Like it had some solid applications.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Makes sense. So you said you're playing Regulation C, starting from this week already.
Series 3.
Yeah. Giovanni, are you playing? No, you're playing Series 2, right?
Yeah, an NPA. I've been playing some Regulation C only on Switch, like in Japanese ladder tournaments. I haven't been playing any Showdown.
Yeah.
So I've had like 3 or 4 tournaments, and I agree with pretty much like everything that was said. One of the things I would say to add on would be that Fluttermane will pretty much be #1 usage, like the whole way through. There are just a lot of fairy weeks, and it's very fast, it's very hard, and you can enable it pretty easily. And then Mouse Ape is also very prevalent in those tournaments, from what I've seen. Like they're both near top 5 usage, like very high up there.
A lot better, and I'm not exactly here for it. It's and it's like Mouse Ape is probably the biggest issue with Regulation C. Is just that it creates an RPS between the you've got like these. I guess it's important to say that stall teams are just like better than they've ever been in VGC because Tinglu carries them.
What do you mean by stall team exactly?
Sure. Stall. Okay, I don't mean hard stall, but I like really defensive stuff where you've got like hazards are just like viable now. You can set up Stealth Rock and it's like a good thing to do. You can ruin it, like Ruination just kind of out damages everything else your opponent can do, and so Tinglu gets to like just kind of vibe and win damage trades, and like Paw and Puff is just a really good move in these types of games, and so you get to grindy, like probably more defensive. Like I'm not saying that every game is like this, but in defensive versus defensive team matchups, you get really grindy Paw and Puff spam games where it's more defensive than most VGC 17 games, which is the most defensive format that we've had for a while. So like the slow end of this format is going to be something that especially Gen 8 players are not going to be familiar with at all. It's not going to look like VGC to them.
I mean, to be fair, to an extent, like the whole hyper offense that we saw in with Dynamax did not look like VGC to VGC 17 players.
That's also true.
Like it goes both ways.
Yeah, but I do think that, and I'm not saying that everyone is going to be forced to play in that manner. I think that Qianbao and Qiyu enable some really powerful offensive things as well. But where I think that the defensive teams tend to get there against the offensive teams because Tinglu is just like more powerful than the offensive enablers. But where the offensive teams shine is they just kind of shred Mouse Ape, and so you get this matchup roulette RPS thing where the offense beats the Mouse Ape beats the balance and the defensive stuff, and the defensive stuff beats the offense. And so like
then we're gonna have a format in which it's just Mouse Ape with screens and super defensive Mouse Ape, which can beat offense and can beat other like defensive teams, and it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, and then it's gonna have dedicated resources to that, and it's gonna lose to Mouse Ape teams, because it's trying to play two sides of the RPS, so it gets shredded in the third and has like game. And yeah, like you can absolutely try to find the gun position to beat all the legs of the RPS, but I think those types of teams generally fall flat. At least they like lose really hard to one leg of the RPS, and then they don't beat the other two as hard. So yeah, like it's not straight RPS. You get to like Pokemon has a lot of nuance, and so you can like be a creative team builder. But I do think that at the moment it looks dangerously like a Mouse Ape offense, defense, RPS, and there's going to be a bunch of other teams that like overlay themselves on this. But
yeah, okay,
that's what the meta looks like at this point, which we're still like the ladder has been pretty soft so far, and we're still like 2 weeks before the format becomes official, and there's going to be a lot more meta development as the format develops as well.
Okay, that's interesting. We see, like maybe we'll have like starting from this week, we're gonna see how what you said like translates to actual games, what people are gonna run if they play in Regulation C. So while we're talking about it, let's just take a look at week 6 matchups if you want. So first of all, we have Symbionts versus Cruisers. They are like both are top 4 teams, and this is like a really important week for both of them. Winning almost locks playoffs for Cruisers, and winning for Symbionts maybe doesn't lock playoffs, but it puts them in a really good spot, especially because they're beating Cruisers, which is like their direct contender at this point. And we have a bunch of matches, especially like Fedekamp and Snow. I'm looking forward to that, and also Genius and Gizo, but because they're both friends of mine.
Chichot versus CML is also a pretty hype match. But really, all the Symbiote Cruiser are looking like banger matches. also, like, you see even the lower bracket, like the lowest load player. I don't know how to put it. Like you see J Modri against Sempra, which are basically the guy who's dominating the bottom spotting game ladder against the most recent regional champion.
Yeah, that's fair. It's gonna be interesting that match as well. Then we have like a completely opposite match: Monarchs versus Samurais, which is first place versus last place. Monarchs are very, very close to playoffs. I don't think they're like, I think it's extremely unlikely they're gonna miss them. While on the other
Monarchs?
side, sorry, Samurais. While on the other side, Monarchs kinda need like 4 wins to, or at least 3 wins to hope for a chance at playoffs. So this is like gonna be interesting. That if you're actually like desperate for wins, having to play against Samurais is not ideal at all because they've been looking really strong this season. So we're gonna see how they fare. I wanna see Hupumetapod if he can keep up the undefeated streak. He's playing Meluka, which is no easy opponent. But yeah, we'll see. Nails, you are playing a Clipper, so that's also like gonna be fun. Cause it's series 3, regulation C, whatever it is.
Is that the first regulation C game? Or is there another one?
It's the first that I know of.
Okay.
I said to managers, hey, please tell me. Did I? I'm not sure. Maybe I said to managers, please tell me of any regulation C games. I want to know about it. Or maybe I didn't, and I'm going to do it after this podcast is over.
Actually, Nick, do you have a capture card?
I do not.
Clippers. Yeah, no, it would be fun.
I think
I do get one, but I just haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Because it would be nice to stream that maybe, but yeah, it's not the case.
Yeah.
I mean, if Clippers has one, then.
Yeah, we can ask.
Yeah.
Clippers played Battle Room, right, for stream.
Yeah, but
it was Clippers Perspective. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
It was Clippers Perspective.
Yeah.
No, it was
Okay.
Battle Room. It was I mean, Battle Room did record. No, it was Battle
Wait.
Room.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll see after.
Yeah, it's not the main topic.
Detective Puppies. These are like both middle of the pack teams. Detectives won. They're only team that won, so they're in a better spot than anybody else. Puppies are still like middle of the pack, fighting for playoff. They both need to win to get close to Symbionts. And it's really gonna be like a bunch of good matches. Like, I mean, I think we say this a lot this season, but all rosters are really, really stacked, and all matches are like most matches are really, really hype in some way. So this one once again is gonna be exciting.
Like there's also this thing where if the puppies win, considering there's cruisers against symbionts, they either go to fourth or they tie up with either one of them. So it's also very important for them to win this week.
Yeah, they definitely need to.
And by reflection, it also means a lot to the detectives, because if they were to lose, they would begin to form like a rift between the 5th place and the 6th. So like it means that it will mean that basically only the puppies will be in the close proximity of the playoff spots, and all the other teams will be very far behind. So I'd say this is kind of like a last call for detectives if they were to lose, because if they were to lose, they could actually get also surpassed by other teams, and see them fall behind to like at least 5 points to the 5th place, which would be like 7 to the fourth place, which is the last available for playoffs, with just 3 weeks remaining. So it will be very dire for them.
Yeah. So, I mean, all teams look for like always try to win, or like most times it's very rare that team doesn't try to win. But especially like now we're getting towards the end of the season, they're gonna try even harder because every win matters much more in context.
Yeah.
Then we have Crown versus
Speak for
Blizzard.
yourself.
Sorry, what?
I said speak for yourself. The Monarchs have not been trying to win.
I mean,
I'm joking.
yeah, I know. Maybe you haven't tried hard enough. Anyway.
Perhaps.
You haven't sent enough cat pics.
I have sent like more.
That's actually true. I gotta go do that right now. Send another cat back to the Pet Pic channel.
Also, like, in the last week, there will be Monarchs against the Postwick, which right now are the only team without a win. So I'm very excited to see if they will actually keep doing so and get to the last match with both of them still needing to win. And to see them draw would be so fun.
I mean, if they get to the last week without a win, I think they will just agree on a tie for the memes.
They agree on winning, like both teams win.
Okay.
They'll figure out a way. They go 5-5.
I think you'll just allow it at that point.
I'll see what I can do. Anyway, Crown Blizzards. Blizzard second place. They are in a really good spot. Like probably a single win right now, like locks them for playoffs. Crown, on the other hand, are a bit lagging behind. Need the win to stay close to the playoff race. Losing to week 5 hurt them a lot because they lost 2 points against everyone. So they definitely need a win. Hopefully, like this would be a big win against Blizzard because Blizzard is a good team. So we'll see what they can do.
Yeah.
And the last one is Stars United. This is the 8th place against 9th place.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a last call for both of them.
Yeah, probably like losing here would be detrimental. Like
like losing. I'm actually sure losing guarantees they're out, and like also drawing isn't very good either.
Yeah,
like
probably.
I think a draw there would have no one and would only further their further their distance from the playoff spot. So I I hope either one of them wins, because if they draw, they probably just knock each other out of the playoffs.
If they're 4-3, the losing team just gives up the last match, so they don't both go down together.
I don't know, because from an outsider perspective, it's funnier this way because like there's more competition. But I can assure you that if you are getting knocked out in that week, there's no way you're saying, okay, you go ahead and try to get to the playoff. No, I'm taking you down with me all day of the week, any day of the week.
That's fair. Now, quick round to everybody. I'm gonna just say the teams and the first seed match, and you're gonna tell me who do you think is gonna win, like both the teams and the first seed match.
Okay, and I cannot like take a look at the other matches.
Yeah, like Symbionts Cruisers, and we have Fedecampo versus Snow. Anyone?
I don't know.
Snow wins, Cruisers win.
Okay.
I would say
a pretty safe pick, right? That guy's pretty good at winning Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Snow wins and Symbionts win.
Oh, Symbionts win, okay. Joe?
I'll take Cruisers.
Okay.
With Snow winning.
Okay. Then we have Monarchs, Samurais, Hoopu Metapod, Meluka.
It's got to be Metapod.
You don't have to answer this one.
Monarchs win.
Okay.
As much as GSOC has been struggling, and that's kind of weird to say, even though he's still positive, I think. He's 3-2, right?
Yeah.
I still believe that he's more than capable of stringing some wins together. That being said, I would not be surprised if this actually ended up being a tie.
Oh, okay.
Like, Monarchs actually have a lot of firepower on their squad, and it's just like they just haven't been able to get the win yet. It's just kind of how it is. And if they have like what 5-6 regional titles amongst their list at least, right? Of just the ones playing, and on top of that, there's like over a dozen top 8s.
Yeah.
I think
it's 6 regionals plus how many Yuri has, and so it's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I would go for Metapod wins and they tie.
Okay.
I'm saying Meluka and Samurais both win.
And then Detective Puppies face Talon.
I don't know if I'm comfortable answering this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm comfortable.
I think
like
FaZe
both these
wins.
guys.
FaZe wins, and
I feel like I have to take Talon just because he should have beaten me last week. So I'll do that.
I think FaZe is gonna win, but Puppies are taking the week. Like, I'm fairly sure Puppies will be taking the week.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Then we have Crown Blizzards, Tang Liakos.
Liakos. And Blizzards win.
Same.
I'll take Tang and Blizzards win.
I'll take Tang and Crown. I think Crown can do this. And I think Blizzards might be feeling pretty comfortable right now. So I don't know if they'll try 100% and they might pay for that.
Okay. That's actually something that could happen, yeah. Then we have last one is Stars United and PqlarBear versus Carmine.
Oh, not my match, no.
Okay,
Bet on someone else.
Let's go to second seed.
Bet on Gahaku, yeah.
Yeah, let's go on Gahaku Dim.
Okay, Gahaku.
Dim for me.
Nick?
Who was the first match again? I'm taking PqlarBear.
PqlarBear.
Yeah, I'm going off the board. I'm making my own prediction.
Okay. And so Stars United, who wins?
Stars.
Yes, Stars, take this.
For me, it's a tie, which means that they both like knock out each other.
Okay. Chaotic solution. That's fine. So
chaotic solution.
Chaotic ending of the week. So that wraps it up for us for this week. I appreciate whoever was listening to us live and whoever is gonna listen to the VOD.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say thank you once again to polpolpo.
Thank you for having me.
Ceree.
No problem.
PqlarBear.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And Nails.
Thanks for having me for part of the cast.
Yeah. So thank you to them for joining us. Thank you to whoever listeners. Next, when we're gonna probably have. I'm gonna be in Utrecht, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm gonna do the podcast next week. But we should have the stream on Monday, right?
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have the stream on Monday.
Stream is always going to be on Monday in order to let people that are at a regional, like I want to allow those people to join the stream.
Yeah. And speaking of regionals, is there anything you want to say, like shortly, quickly?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you who wins Utrecht. Daniele Gorodova.
That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about your stream, if you wanna plug it.
Oh yeah, I don't think this is the place where I should say this, but yeah, I will stream Utrecht in Italian and with the authorization of VR. So yeah, it's cool. Thanks to VR for the opportunity.
So yeah, I mean that's it. Monday stream, some point later maybe podcast. And that's all for us. Thank you everybody and see ya.
Thank you.
Bye.